Welcome to the Conversation Colons podcast. I'm your host, Damien, my co-host, Jared,
Hello.
and new setups for both of us this week. Did they see yours last week? Was it different last week? I don't think it was.
No, yeah, it was not. So here, I'll really quickly, without going too far. Oops. I'm here now. So I've got the cool brick behind me, and eventually I'm gonna have some fucking movie related posters and shit up along this wall. It's gonna look a lot better. And also, I mean, I've got a bit of an extension of my desk. I've never done this during a podcast, but I'll show you. Over here on this side, there is this butcher board, so I got an extension. And oh, well, I'll show this as well. I got a Go XLR. That's a fun thing to have as well.
Right. Yeah. So Jared's in a completely new location. I'm also like scooched over, and then I have a second desk.
Lucky bastard.
So I guess I'll show you that. So here's my my keyboard, my little Star Wars things I fiddle with. There's my Go XLR. Oh god, this is a little wonky heart. Sorry. There's my second monitor. Oh god. Oh, this is
your monitor. Holy shit. That's
yeah,
awesome.
no, right. This is a little wonky. Hold on. There's my PC and stuff right there. In the back is a PS5. My gun's back there. I have the Spider-Man PS4 Pro. You can't see the gun. It's like completely black. And yeah, so and then obviously all my don't mind the water bottles you saw them on the floor, but you know, all that stuff over there.
You went way too fast. I didn't even see him.
That's good. That is good. So yeah, a little bit of a oh fuck, what happened to my camera? Why is it so like that? There we go.
Oh, it's probably because it's got a fucking tilty thing. So you probably like did something when you said it back.
I think it looks better like this anyways.
Like my Rick and Morty shirt. Jesus.
Oh god, that's a little too high. Hold on.
Me or you? Oh,
Me.
I'm back in Central.
Alrighty, so
brewskis of the week. First and foremost, I have a Atomic Blue Mountain Dew from Sheetz.
okay. I got Coke Vanilla.
Vanilla. You know
and
what
water.
I'm not gonna get it. Never mind. You know what?
You're not gonna get it. No, you're not. And I got water.
Fun drink, but I can't get it now.
You know, I have a mom that can just bring me stuff, so I could text her and say, "Hey, bring me my Mike's Hard Lemonade."
I mean, theoretically, I could do the same thing.
Should we live call my mom? Hold on.
Oh no.
Let's just see how this goes.
Oh no. She's gonna say something she shouldn't. I can tell you that right now.
Hey.
Hey.
Can you open up Mike's Hard Lemonade for me and bring it to me? Hello?
Did she hang up on you?
Hello?
Did you hear me?
No.
Can you open a Mike's Hard Lemonade and bring it to me for my podcast?
What?
Can you bring me a Mike's Hard Lemonade, please?
What?
Bitch, you're laughing. I can hear you. Can you
totally fucking with you.
Can you please open up Mike's Hard Lemonade and bring it to me for my podcast? We're recording.
I could. I probably could. I love you.
Do you? Are you laughing so hard?
I don't know. Yes, I'll bring you one.
All right, thanks, mommy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Love you, bye. There you go.
I do the same thing with Rachel, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you'd be sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, well, there's no couch down here yet, so she'd have to fucking deal with it.
Right. You'd be sleeping on the fucking floor.
Yeah.
Well, until my mom brings me the Mike's Hard, it's just the water and Coke right now. So, yeah. Also, quick little announcement. It should be up and going by the time this goes up. We have a TikTok, and I'll be posting clips on the TikTok, periodically. So I'll have that link down below. You can follow that.
Being one cringe ass motherfucker.
I mean, yeah, you have to have a TikTok nowadays. So many people, so many eyes, you know.
Do we have to, or is it
I mean,
like
so to be honest, I've had this account or a TikTok made for our podcast for 6 months now. I've just am now ready to start posting on it. So, not like you have to do any more work, Jared.
Yeah, but like, it's still a stain on my image.
How so?
Because it's TikTok?
See, I feel like you have this like,
Well, this ought to be great.
you have this like weird like hippie like kind of attitude towards TikTok because TikTok's the new like hip and trendy thing. You're like, oh, I don't want to be. I don't
How
want to.
long has it been around?
TikTok's still like the number one like app. Like if we're talking about people
Yeah,
on it,
it's been around for like what, 2 years now? 3 years?
probably 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not new anymore. It's just fucking lame.
I mean, in human years, that's pretty new.
Look, when it first came out, I was the one that was like, oh, I can't replace Vine, so therefore I don't like it. And then it was out longer, and I was like, you know what? This seems interesting enough to replace Vine. And I watched some compilations of the funny shit, and now it's just fucking awful. Now it's not even I hate. Whenever you make me watch TikTok compilations, even the ones that aren't meant to be cringe are cringe. Oh, he had to mute himself to talk to mommy.
She's staring at me through my door, but bag secured, boys.
Insecure.
Oh,
Did you tell her to go?
yeah.
You're such a dick.
Kept coming in. Anyways, yeah, but I just feel like you have like this like TikTok is, you know, the trendy thing, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be a rebel. I don't want to be a part of that crowd. So like anything TikTok just like bothers you to the core just because it's TikTok. You don't give the app a
agree with
chance.
you if I hadn't hated it as long as I have.
You hated it for like a year.
If not more. Like I've hated it for quite some time.
Right.
Just saying, shit's fucking gay.
Yeah. So if you want to follow us on TikTok, if you have a TikTok, I should start posting there sometime next week. There'll be linked down below. It's hard because I have to like cut up the pot, like so I have to upload the podcast, then take the like our actual like raw recording, cut that up for TikTok, and then like render all that out and then post it to TikTok. But it'll be worth it, you know. If we get like 1,000, 1,500 views, like that's people seeing the podcast. Maybe we'll get a bunch of views, you know.
You know what? That's the only part with that I'll agree with you on.
Right. So we do have some gaming news before we get to our Winter Soldier review at the end. So last year they announced Fable 4, right? They announced Everwild. Well, yeah, we're just gonna call it Fable 4 for right now. Rare's game Everwild. It was like that cartoony one with all the animals, whatever. So an article came out this week that all of the main Xbox exclusives, besides Halo and Forza, are years away. Xbox has no planned exclusives to come out in the next few years, like of their main big ones. That isn't made by like a Bethesda.
Other than Halo and Forza, there's none?
Yes.
So no
And
years?
from what I was reading, the guy said he would be very surprised if any of those exclusives release before the next Xbox console, which is like that, like the mid-gen upgrade.
Oh, so like the Xbox One and the Xbox One S.
Right, yeah. Which, you know,
still
is
like 5 years.
2 to 3 years away.
That means I'm not gonna get a Gears of War. I am gonna be stuck with the cliffhanger that they left us. Oh my god.
Yeah, he said
Halo.
most Xbox exclusives are currently about 3 to 5 years away. Most I will be shocked if most or any release before the next Xbox releases in 2 to 3 years.
Quality over quantity, am I right?
Right. I mean, and stuff can change. It could shift. You know, they could cut some things and then make it come out faster. I just think
maybe things will be produced a little bit quicker.
Right, but I just think what sucks for Xbox is, yeah, they have all this stuff like down the pipe. See, like, so this is what Sony did with the PlayStation 4, right? They didn't have much those first like 2 years. And then after that, it was just a lot, right? But people don't remember that. All people remember now is just Sony having constant. And right, I mean, right now with the PS5, like they have more constant exclusives coming out than Xbox, right? I mean, they have Returnal coming out in 2 weeks. They have a bunch of shit coming out towards the end of the year. While Xbox has Halo and Forza, like now we're gonna have to wait 2 to 3 years before that next big exclusive. And Gears like isn't like Gears is a big exclusive, but Gears doesn't have the pulling power that it used to have.
That's fair. I mean, for me it does, but I
Well,
know that
right,
not
yeah, we'll definitely play the Gears, but like it's at the point now where like it's a hard spot for Xbox because you can't sit there and you can't have games not come out for 3 years. You can't afford to not have a console exclusive. And I think the Bethesda acquisition helps that. But at the end of the day, like Starfield, that Bethesda game, the Space Fallout game, is supposed to come out later this year. That they announced a few years ago. It was reported to come out this year. Maybe that gets delayed till next year, so they have that big exclusive. I don't know if it's coming to PS5 or anything like that, but yeah, it's a real interesting time.
You know what I just realized? The Forza we're meant to get, that's not even a Horizon, is it?
It is not. So
it's really, we're not even getting Forza. We're just getting Halo.
So you got to remember, the team who makes Forza Horizon, Playground Games, is making the Fable remake. So we may be 4 to 5 years away from a Horizon. Because what's happening right now is it seems like Forza, instead of being a yearly kind of release, it's now going to a 3-year dev cycle.
I got to be honest with you, though. I'm not entirely upset about that. Like, I got into Forza Horizon 4 late, like real late. And like, I still play it, not as often as I was last time we talked about it in the podcast, but like, I still enjoy the game. I'll still play it. And so I still have some grinding to do. Every year, it's like, I don't want that game to have the Call of Duty effect where it's like, fuck, I'm already paying another $60 for a new game, even though I've been spending all my time on this other one. So I'd be like, I would be okay with every couple of years with Forza because with Horizon, they're good enough to play for a few years. But with the regular motorsports, I'm not a huge fan of those. So I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm already used to waiting like 2 years for a Forza because I don't really get the motorsports. I wait the 2 years and just buy Horizon. So I'm already used to that 2-year cycle. We're currently 3 years into this cycle, and I'm now potentially having to wait a possible another 2 to 3 years. So we're talking up to 6 years between a Forza Horizon game.
I understand that. I thought you meant between each Forza. I didn't realize you meant just
well, so that's how it'll be. So when this next Forza comes out, it's 3 years from that Forza most likely. Yeah. And Motorsports doesn't have the Motorsports doesn't make me want to go and buy an Xbox and play it or play it on my PC. I'll probably download it, play like 2 or 3 races, and be done. It's not Horizon where like Horizon 2 and 3, I have to have over 2,000 hours a piece for those games. Like especially Horizon 3, that in Australia, oh my god.
I need to play Horizon 3. That's the first one you ever tried to get me to play, and I couldn't stand it. I just wasn't.
The Lego DLC, fantastic.
The one in 4 is pretty good too.
Yeah, but see, in Forza Horizon 3, it was more like the Hot Wheel, or not the Lego. Sorry, I meant Hot Wheels. The Hot Wheels DLC in Forza Horizon 3 is fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I had I don't want to say epiphany, but I had like a thought just now.
Right.
It occurred to me that I'm gonna probably buy this new Forza game, which I've never really bought a motorsport before. I got the last one free when I got it through Game Pass, whenever.
Right.
And it's interesting to me that since we started recording the podcast, and since like I got a PC, you got a PC, since we've moved platforms, there's more games that have been out since like I started gaming when I was little. Like I didn't care about, and now I care about them. And like, there's more games I'm starting to want to buy as I get older. And it's not like, oh, I have the money, I'm gonna buy them. It's just like I'm interested in more games now. And it's weird that like I'm expanding that horizon, because it used to be I would play COD, I would play Halo, I'd play like Need for Speed in my PS2, and a couple of the like
and Minecraft,
and of course Minecraft. Oh my god, Castle Miner Z. there's always those few games that I felt like we always played. It was always a cycle. GTA, obviously, it's been out for 8 years
Battlefield,
now.
like
Fuck, man. If I could go back to Battlefield 3 and 4, like there's always those few games that we've been cycling in, and it's like you could always pinpoint in certain points of the year you'd be into that stuff. And like for
right,
me, in the summer, it was Minecraft and GTA, and like Halo as well. Call of Duty
right,
faded out until fall. That's always how it was because the new Call of Duty came out in fall. Now I'm like, I have so many games on my Steam. I've got so many games still on my Xbox like I could play. Now that I've got the
Game Pass,
ultimate pass, yeah, Game Pass on PC, like there's games that I'll play on here. I mean, there's so much that I want to do. I play Minecraft. I play like random little like Anthony showed me that one game, the Conflict of Nations game. And I
right,
fucking love it. Weird. Like there's just so many things I've gotten into as I've gotten older, and that is, it's almost like scary. Like now that I'm older, it's like I know more about games. I want to play more games. I mean, like being friends with you and as close as we've gotten since we moved to PC, there's so much more that I look at and appreciate in games instead of just going, oh, shooting fun. It's like, oh, like look at this little thing that isn't like that, or comparing and contrasting to other games. Because
right.
as much of a critic as you are, and I've unfortunately slowly adapted your critiques on games, but it's such a weird thought. Like I never would have thought I'd play Forza. Like I used to tell you, I'm never playing Forza. I don't want to play that shit racing game. And now, there's days where I'm like, hey, you guys want to play Forza Horizon 4 with me? And you're like,
Right.
Jared, don't fucking play that game with you. And it's like,
Well, I
I
just
just want to
think,
play the game. It's so
you know,
weird.
there's a lot of games that me and Jared still don't touch. That like, obviously every game and every genre of games has its fun factor for everyone. Like, I hate anime, but I'm sure the anime games are fun, right? Like, I'm sure if I sat down and played those for like 15 minutes, I get some enjoyment because they're like wacky and they're super like arcadey.
No, that's fair.
But like, I don't like anime, so that was the problem with you. Like, you just had to get over that hump of like, before, like, you weren't really into cars, and so it was a hard thing to play Forza because one, you didn't know anything about cars, and then two, you weren't into them, and then you got that job working with cars. Maybe that developed your interest a little bit, and then
For sure. Lots of cars,
right,
absolutely.
and then now we talk about cars a lot. With Forza we played a lot. I mean, it's the same thing with me. Like sports games I've always played in my life, but like MLB The Show comes out tonight. Well, I have to pay the extra $10 to upgrade. But like,
Oh yeah.
I've been like I've never been excited for MLB The Show until this year, and I'm like dumb excited to play that game again. And do the career mode. Like I spent $80 on a baseball game. But I mean, the one thing I'll say, even though MLB The Show, like I never really played, like I never played it as much as I did Madden. Like MLB 07, yep. The show, like I played throughout my childhood. It was a great game. I love baseball. It's a dying love, to be honest with you. But like the show, like is always a good, fun thing to play for a few months. Especially since we are in a dry ass period.
Well, that's the thing. Like you mentioned sports games. Like I've never fucking cared about Madden in my life.
Right.
The last Madden I'd played before 2021, and I guess I played a little bit of 2020 with you guys. I played once. I played, I think 18, like 16 or 18, one of those two. I played that with a friend of ours named Reese. He came over to my house with a friend of his friend, me, and my dad played 4-person Madden because I used to be able to do that. But we sat down here when the TV used to be there, the entertainment used to be there, entertainment center used to be there. Like you remember how it used to look. We sat there on fucking stools and just played Madden. Now before that, and that was one time, so I don't really count that. But before that, I played 2005, Madden 2005. My dad and I had it on our PlayStation 2, and him and I played it. And I remember I never could score because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So he would take all the characters, he'd spam B and pull the sticks. They'd all run away from me to let me score. Like I never fucking liked sports games. And then this year, I mean, I've spent some money on Madden, and I've gotten a little bit into it. Not
a
like
lot of
Cody
money. A
not
lot
like
of money.
FIFA. No, like that. Not like that. But like, I've spent some. I asked you to help me stop.
You spent over 500. Let's just tell the people what it is. You don't even have to think about it. I know how much you spent.
Yeah, well, because I've paid the occasional 20 for the to get the.
You're at like $800. There's no way you're
no,
not.
no. No.
You're close.
It's no. It's like it's not even past 6. It's probably in the like 550 range. Sadly.
So, speaking of games that, I'm not usually into playing, we've talked about Resident Evil Village on the
I've seen
podcast.
a lot of bad things on Twitter of her.
Oh, dude, you could step on me.
I don't like it much.
So my Resident Evil story for myself, right? When I was younger, I played 1, 2. I really liked them. I played 3, 4, Code Veronica. And I just fell off after that. I didn't really get into and want to play those after those ones. I just lost interest. I haven't played a Resident Evil game since like the remake of 2, but I don't think that counts. So I haven't played a mainline Resident Evil game since like Code Veronica, basically. So there's been there's been like 8 different ones. But today they showed off more Resident Evil 8 Village. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, it is.
And dude, the one scene, the fucking tall bitch, Lady Dimistru, fucking like cut your hand, starts sucking on your hand and your blood. I was rock solid, I'll be honest. I actually may buy this game. So they announced today that Saturday for PS players only, you will get to play a 30-minute demo, and you can either explore the castle or the village. And then the next weekend, you get a full hour of gameplay, and you can do, if you want to explore the village for the full hour, you can. If you want to explore the village for the whole hour, you can, or you can explore both within that hour. And you can do that like 8 times.
You said village twice, by the way.
Oh, I meant castle. Sorry. So if you want to explore both, you can. If you just want to explore the village or castle, you can also do that. So they're really giving people like, I feel like this is a great entry point for Resident Evil, because they're giving you all these demos. Hey, like, here's how the game feels. Here's how it plays. Here's a free hour to see if you even like it. So the first 30-minute demo is only on PlayStation. Okay. The second demo that comes out in 2 or 3 weekends from now, that will be on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, I believe. And you'll get a full hour to play. So that game comes out like May 18th, I think. So, go ahead.
Isn't Resident Evil done by Capcom?
Yeah.
Because they've got a publisher sale up to 80% off on Steam. The only reason I say that is because I was looking. I thought I owned Resident Evil 4. I was going to check before I made the comment. I don't. So sorry about that.
So I'm going to play these demos, and that's like, I may fucking fork up the money and play that game on my PlayStation.
Why is Resident Evil Village $80?
Is that the PS5 version?
I'm on Steam.
Are you looking at the deluxe edition?
No, it just says Resident Evil Village.
I wonder if Sony, who does it say is publishing it?
Oh wait. Oh, it's pre-purchase Resident Evil Village, and then you get Resident Evil 7 complete bundle. So it's, I guess it's a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah. So
you can get just the pre-purchase Resident Evil. Okay, it is $60.
Right. So what people, right. So what people got to remember is, so like MLB The Show, right? That is made by Sony, published by Sony. So it is $69.99 on a PlayStation console. It's also $69.99 on an Xbox. Sony determines that price, right? So it's the first $70 game, base game on Xbox as well. But that's why I was asking that, because I didn't know if Sony, for some odd reason, was publishing that game. But yeah, so I may sit there and play it. But the new trailer that they showed, it looks pretty interesting. I watched people beat Resident Evil 7, so I kind of know the storyline with Ethan and I forget his fucking name. But yeah, it looks interesting. Tall lady, I'm down. Hot vampire daughters, I'm down. But we will see. They already released a demo a few weeks ago that I need to try on my PlayStation. I haven't downloaded it yet. So now it's time to what are you, fucking cop?
No, I just heard something.
Oh, okay. So now it's time to hurt Jared's heart. His one and true love, Minecraft, released like a dev update yesterday.
Mhm.
So Jared, the big update that was supposed to come out this year in the summer, Caves and Cliffs.
Yeah.
No longer coming out in the summer.
One's coming out.
So it comes out later this year. Past August. And
I heard about a delay, but I didn't
yeah,
think it was that
it'd be
much.
past September too. They said it's not coming out in this. It's not coming out in the summer at all. What they're doing is they're splitting it up. So in the summer, that will focus on that update that comes out in the summer. Will focus on some cute and fun mobs, items, and new blocks. So it's a small update, is what they said.
I wonder if they're gonna add the mountain goat, the glow squids, and the
They probably will.
Little things.
Yeah, they probably will. Yeah, and then they'll be sharing more over the coming weeks. But the actual main like updates to caves, updates to cliffs, doesn't come till later this year. I'm guessing probably October-ish.
I mean, if they're doing that just to have it like,
well, they said if they didn't do it, if they wanted to release it in summer, they'd have to crunch and have all their employees work. And, then you probably wouldn't get as quality, I guess. So, yeah, delay it. Another thing to the delay hammer, the delay reaper. But, yeah, so if you were looking forward to that update, you got to wait. I mean, first off, people have been waiting for this update for fucking like 8 years. But, wait just a little longer. What's your thoughts on that, Jared?
So when you said news, like before we started recording, I was like, oh fuck, what is it? I thought it was good news, first of all. I had heard about a delay, but I didn't look into it because I didn't think it was that major. I thought it was like, oh, we're pushing it back a couple weeks. That sucks. But it is what it is. Maybe I'll replay The Witcher until the new update comes out. That's something that I've been thinking about.
Yep. We definitely will have hopefully some game. Oh, they announced E3.
Really?
Yeah, it's June. I think it starts June 10th. You got a ghost like chilling out somewhere in your house?
No, the furnace was kicked on that time, so that's why I was
furnace.
Yeah, dude, it's 30 degrees right now.
It's
it basically snowed earlier today.
54 right now.
Really?
Actually a lot. So fucking hot my house. So yeah, Minecraft, a little bit of a delay. Well, not a little bit, a big delay. And then before we get to our Winter Soldier and Falcon review, I said last week I had the new Tremors upscale, and our friend of the podcast, Chad, let me borrow that, which I forgot to bring to work today to give back to him, but don't worry, I'll be bringing it Saturday. It was pretty good. Like, they definitely did a very good. So when you upscale an old movie, there's a lot of stuff you have to go through. First off, film grain, if not done right, makes the movie look grainy and makes it look awful. And when I watched with my mom, and at first she's like, "Why is it so grainy? Why can't I see all this shit?" And I explained to her, I was like, "Well, they kind of have to do this." And after like 5 minutes, you never even noticed it. It looked really good. The audio sounded great. They redid the audio. And if you like Tremors, I think it's, I don't even know what it's worth. I think it's like $20-$30 for the 4K one. It's really good if you like Tremors. I personally don't like Tremors. And after watching that, I stand by that review, that I think it's an awful movie. But if you like Tremors and you like Kevin Bacon and Reba McEntire, go ahead. Go buy this 4K version. Thanks, Chad, for letting me watch it. I was interested in the technology behind it. Looks really good. And Chad, I think, is going to let me borrow his Apocalypse Now one that he just got. So I love that movie, first off. So that one will be a great watch with its upscaled display and better audio.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Winter Soldier and Falcon. I don't even, what's the actual title? The Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Right. Okay. Such a weird name.
Probably.
Call it something else. So last episode was a pretty big one. Tonight, well, actually, in an hour, 2 hours, it comes out. Episode 5, 6. So we got 2 episodes left. But last week, episode 4 was a pretty big episode, like plot wise. Once again, spoiler if you didn't watch it. Jared, what did you think of this episode? What were some of the key moments for you that happened? What do you think it sets up for this next episode we are going to be watching in the next few hours?
So I'm sorry, I'm trying to recall everything that happened before the end. Fuck. This is the one where they.
So one of the big things that
Zemo goes in, he talks to the kids, gets the information right for the funeral. Thing.
right, yes,
Okay. So, yeah, I really like how they did that. Like, had Zemo do the things he did, bribe the kids with the
Andy,
Ukrainian delicacy.
yeah,
I don't know what the candy. I forget what he calls them. The lights. It's I like that whole thing. Apparently, that's a reference to fuck. What's that movie? Narnia. Apparently, it's a reference to Narnia. I think that's cool. But I like the way his character was going with that. I was really enjoying how he was like, "Oh, like don't listen to those guys. The Avengers are bad." Shit. So later in that episode, when Zemo ends up, spoiler alert, running away and escaping, the Dora Milaje, is that how you say that?
yeah,
Dora Milaje, the Wakanda fucking royal guard people, the Dora Milaje, 3 of them, I believe, come in to take Zemo, and at the same time, or right before they come in, New Cap and
Walker,
Walker. What the fuck's his partner's name?
knock off Anthony Mackie,
Star Blaster.
possibly, yeah.
It's something like that. Anyway, him and his partner come in, New Cap and the partner. And they're like, I forget what the fuck they're talking about, but they're basically like, "You're gonna fucking work with us, you fuck." And
Well, they were coming to take Zemo.
Yeah, they're coming. Well, that's right. They wanted to take Zemo before the Dora Milaje showed up.
Yeah.
And Anthony Mackie, Sam Falcon was like, "You're not doing that, man. Like, back down." And New Cap's like, "You want me to take off the shield, make it a fair fight?" I'm like, "All right, you prick." So that part was interesting. What I really liked was they threw the vibranium spear, and they do it a couple times, but like they stop him from going forward and causing a fight. And so he's like, "Come on, guys, why don't we work together?" And puts his hand on one of their shoulders, and they just beat the shit out of him. Really cool scene is I love the Dora Milaje because I throw a spear so accurately that goes into the fucking leather sleeve of the shield and pins it into a table so he can't move. That was awesome. Just saying. Steve Rogers never let that happen. Just saying. He wouldn't let it happen.
Correct.
He also wouldn't fight that.
He would have caught the spear.
Oh yeah, he'd have been like dun 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 dun.
I never give up.
I could do this all day.
Yeah.
I really like the scene where he's like, "They weren't even super soldiers," and he's like, "They beat me." And then later on they go and so Sam and
so Zemo escapes.
Zemo escapes. Sam and Bucky go to the funeral thing. I know that's is that?
So yes, so
when did Zemo come back?
Zemo doesn't come back.
So why is Zemo with them?
Okay, so I'll explain the episode. So episode starts off, Zemo, they're looking for a funeral to find Carly, who's the leader of the Flag Smashers. They go to the orphanage kind of place where Carly's been chilling at and where her mother has passed away. And Zemo they're all looking for information. Zemo gets the candy from the kids. They end up going to the funeral, and fake Captain America, Star Blaster, Anthony Mackie, Winter Soldier, they all have fucking weird ass names. They come up to the compound where the funeral's happening at, and Falcon's like, "Hey,"
by the way, they're like, "All right, we're working together to get these guys."
Right. And they bring Zemo, obviously. And what happens is, at the same time, Carly goes and grabs the remaining super soldier serum that she has, which is 4 of them, I think. And
it was a lot. It was 9 or 10. She had a ton left.
No. It was less because she already gave it to 4 people, so maybe it was 6.
there were a few. I mean, you got to remember, like when
But it
further
was
in,
10.
Zemo starts stomping.
Yeah.
It had to been like 12 or 14.
No,
'cause he
there's no
stomps,
way.
like 6 or 7 times, and only one's left.
No. It was less than that. But anyways, so Sam's like, all right, let me go talk to the girl. Let me see what I can do. And what actually happens is Sam gets through to her, and he's having this real bonding moment. They're connecting. You could see where he could have like turned her. You know, Sam obviously has a history talking to people with you know, some issues, right? And so what happens is Walker, see, they never really explained what was going on, but before he took the super soldier serum, he was acting weird. And so he's getting impatient. He's like, your friend could be dying in there, to obviously Bucky. And, you know, he's constantly pacing back and forth. So finally he's done and he storms it. And he completely ruins the moment between Sam and Carly. And Carly runs. And what ends up happening in that sequence is Star Blaster, Walker's friend, ends up dying. Right, he gets stabbed by potentially.
Spoiler alert. I watched a fucking video like explaining the important highlights of the episode. He isn't dead. That scene where it flashes back to him, that's meant to show that he's still breathing. He was severely injured.
Oh well, that guy's gonna feel real shitty when we get to the point I'm about to get to. So also to explain, while they're escaping, Harley runs into Zemo. Zemo starts shooting at her. The super soldier serum's vials fall down. And Zemo, yes, he is a bad guy, but he has like these morals of stopping that program and of the super soldier program. And so he starts smashing all the vials. Carly leaves. Zemo gets dipped in the head with a fucking shield. But Zemo left one vial. Okay? Obviously, he didn't know.
Stop you there.
What?
I'd like to stop you there real quick. There were 20 vials.
Were there really?
The Flag Smashers consumed 8 of the vials, acquiring super soldier powers.
Okay.
But 11 of the vials were later destroyed by Baron Zemo.
The
one that he didn't get to destroy is the one that Walker saw. Rolled away.
I swear it wasn't that much.
I googled it and I looked.
Okay.
I knew it was a bunch he destroyed. So I'm sorry. I didn't want to be an asshole. But...
No, you're good. So anyways, Walker obviously sees the vial. He puts it in his pocket, and they carry on. That's when his friend dies. And well, potentially, obviously he's still breathing.
We don't know 100%.
Right. So they're chasing him. Walker takes the super soldier serum and goes ballistic, trying to find Carly. And they end up in like this, like there's like a big statue or like fountain kind of.
It's like a town center-esque area.
Right. And Carly's in the group and she's watching what happens. And the whole point of Carly in this episode was to kill Captain America. Okay. So you got to remember that. So Walker catches one of her friends and absolutely shield bashes his fucking brains out. It's actually for an MCU moment, it's pretty brutal. And so he smashes and kills the guy right then and there. In front of everyone. So her mission's accomplished. She killed Captain America. In the public eye, Captain America's a stone cold killer in that sense. So that is like the main thing. Now what happens in between or after that is they go back to the apartment. The people show up. Or no, actually that was before. So Zemo escapes and then comes back. So you were right. Does he not?
No, that's what I was confused about. So Zemo... No, that is the very end. So what happens?
It is the very end, yeah.
Zemo escapes, right? And they're sitting in the apartment after he's escaped. Sam and Bucky are. And what happens is, what's her name? The CIA bitch.
Yeah, she calls. I don't know.
She goes, "Hey Sam, the fucking satellite's picking up Walker and his pal. They are fucking moving, so they must have found him." And so they're like, "All right, Winter Soldier and Falcon, go!"
Right.
And
yeah.
so Sam shows up. And as he shows up and sees Walker for the first time, Walker fucking like punches a guy and he goes flying into a brick wall.
Yeah, that's like, right.
What did you do? And Sam just goes, or fucking Walker's like, and he fucking goes, and that's when
the
fight happens. Walker's getting his ass kicked. He's a little bitch super soldier, and Sam and Bucky are obviously doing amazing. And then the friend Star Blaster, he was tied up. He gets untied because he's a badass. Goes and saves Walker from being stabbed. And then Carly's like, huh, hits him so hard he flies into a wall, and he won't receive. He's like, oh, and Walker's like,
Right.
all right, whatever your name is, wake up. And he's just like, and then that's when he's like, he stands up and he's like, angry face, and he fucking charges the window, shields it like Cap does, but for evil reasons, falls and he
Right.
does the and he,
So-
and he runs after, and he's like, where is she? And he takes him and just fucking kills him.
Right. So the big theme for this this episode, well, I guess the show in general is like, and from what I'm seeing it as, is just because you have the shield doesn't mean you're Captain America. Okay.
Precise.
And a lot of things that Walker's been saying, when the Wakandan people are there and they kick his ass, and they're like, he goes, well, they don't have the super soldier serum. How did that happen? And it's coming down to that moment with no matter like with Steve, yes, he had this the serum, yes, he had the shield, but that didn't make him Captain America. It was his heart, and it was his his strength, like inside, right?
First Captain America, whatever happens tomorrow, don't change who you are.
Right. So, I mean, if you go to the comic books, Captain America has that one line saying, if the mob and media are telling you to move, you need to stand. Like they're so anyways, that's how his character's always been. So that's the big theme. Walker has everything Steve has, but his heart and his will.
Rachel just texted me, said her name is Sharon, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, who cares about Sharon? So that's gonna be like the big theme, because what I predict to happen in the next few episodes is obviously Sam and them fight, and at the end of the day, Walker loses, and he goes, "How did I lose?" And Sam will say some fucking, "You're no captain because you didn't have his heart," or he'll say something along those lines, and the overall theme will show that. But that is what they are showing in this whole show, and because also Bucky and Sam have also talked a lot, and Bucky said, "You know what that shield means?" And it's like, it's not the shield that means anything. It's what Steve did with it. And
it's what Steve made the shield.
Yeah, and it's what Steve is. So it is a really interesting concept. So yeah, I think this episode by far was like, it was either the first or second best episode of the season. I think episode 3 and 4 are like 1 and 2 so far of the best episodes. Yeah. The first one being the worst, second one being better than the first, third being better than second, fourth and third you can pick whichever one. But it was a really good episode. I'm excited to watch tonight's episode.
I am as well. Yeah.
Any quick predictions for that?
Honestly, no. I really don't have any.
Okay. Yeah, which we'll review that next week. If you had to give it a score out of 10, I don't remember. I think last week we gave him like 8s.
I don't remember scoring.
I think we did.
I thought we
did score, yes.
Yeah, well, then I give this one another 8. Pretty good.
I go like an 8.1.
I'm original 8.
Yeah, 8.1. Little update, because we talked about it last few weeks. We are doing that big MCU re-rank, which we're working on. We were supposed to watch two movies this week. We have not. We'll be watching Iron Man 3 tomorrow.
We watched Avengers last Friday, and we watched Thor 2 Saturday, so that's 2.
Yeah, but this week.
We still got a couple days left this week, baby. It's all right.
All right, so we're watching Iron Man 3 tomorrow, and then Winter Soldiers after that. So
2 of the best movies in a row. We have to watch them both.
Right. So we are, I think, at the halfway mark. Or we're roughly close. Yeah, we're close.
Oh, you know what? We might not be able to watch Winter Soldier Saturday because I'm going to try to watch Snyder Cut again.
We watch it Sunday.
Fair. We watch it early enough.
Yep. But yeah. Yeah, that's all my notes had. So cool. Thank you guys for watching. If you're on iHeart, what?
I did want to bring up, we mentioned it earlier and I had it sitting up here. So we were talking about the Resident Evil games earlier.
Right.
And I know I said like the Capcom has the sale going on. You mentioned, what was the news when you played Resident Evil 2?
Resident Evil 2 remake.
So the remake, you know that the Resident Evil 3 remake's out, which I
Right.
forgot.
I
The
don't care about
Resident Evil 2 remake is 60% off. It's $15.99. The newest one, Resident Evil 3 remake, or I think it's the newest one.
Yeah.
It's 67% off. You can get it $19. So if you guys are interested in Resident Evil games and you have Steam, go on there and grab them.
Listen, if you've never played any Resident Evil game, okay, ever in your life, or you haven't played it in a while, please play Resident Evil 2 remake. It's not weird like how the Resident Evil games are now. It's a classic survival horror. Fucking, Mr. X is chasing you down hallways. It's scary. There's really good puzzles in that game. The story's really good. The areas are really cool. Resident Evil 2 remake is worth playing. If you've never played Resident Evil 2 and you're like, I don't know, play it. I'm telling you, you won't regret it, especially for $15.
So Resident Evil Revelations or Resident Evil 2 Revelations is 87% off. $6, 87% off. It's 77 cents.
It's not worth it.
I'm actually, once we're done recording here, Resident Evil 4, which is the one I played. Like I played with my dad when I was younger. I love Resident Evil 4. It is 75% off. It's $4.99. I'm gonna be picking that up. That's dope.
Resident Evil Village is basically like kind of it's how The Force Awakens is like A New Hope, like the same story kind of everything.
Yeah.
That's what Resident Evil 8 is gonna be. Because in 4 you're in a village with crazy town people and shit like that.
Yeah, but am I saving the girl who goes Leon?
Who cares about her?
She's awesome. That makes the game, bro. I love it.
I hated Resident Evil 4's aiming.
Yeah, it was rough, dude. Playing it on a PS2 controller, that shit was fucking wacky.
Dude, that was crazy. Can't play it on GameCube.
Dude, I remember when I was on, I believe still on 360, an old friend of ours, Tyler Bibb, he told me he liked Resident Evil, and I told him I'd play Resident Evil. I had played Resident Evil 4. So I bought Resident Evil 5 to play with him, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I never finished it. I played a few story missions. It was pretty good. Resident Evil 6, I remember being huge, and I never once touched it. That's the last time I ever paid
Resident Evil 6 probably the worst one.
That's
Operation Raccoon City is probably even worse, to be honest with you. And then Revelations 1 and 2, I hear mixed things about those.
What was Resident Evil Biohazard? Is that like
that's 7?
Meant to be 7. Okay.
That's 7. Yeah.
Was that good?
Oh, it was really good. Yeah.
Okay. I've like never heard about it.
That's probably like, if we're excluding like the off-brand titles, that's probably the best Resident Evil game since 4. So, and 4 has been put on everything at this fucking.
Dude, 4 is great. I'm probably gonna buy it and play a little bit tonight.
Right. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Remember, if you're listening to us on iHeart, SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, you can like, comment, follow. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, share. Please share. Follow the TikTok. It'll be linked down below. And I'll start posting on there, I swear. I have to upload our profile picture on there, too. The desktop app won't let me do it. So, but, yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.